In this training exercise, it's important for the canine to respond to danger by protecting his partner. Then, after the immediate threat is contained, to then use his unique tracking abilities to locate the other suspect.
Handler go up, he can make an announcement. This is the police, I have an attack-trained dog. If you don't come out, I'm going to turn him loose. You give a reasonable amount of time for the suspect to surrender, which may be, 5 minutes. If he doesn't surrender, then you cut your dog loose and you give the command, go find him.
The dogs work strictly on command, with no animosity toward the suspect. And for those extra special dogs, there is also a graduate course in bomb and narcotic detection.
When we start looking for a narcotics or a bomb detection canine, we're looking for the most outgoing dog. The dog who is very responsive to the handler, the dog who enjoys playing with the handler, enjoys fetching various articles. We build up actually the dog's desire to have this, to search for this particular item or scent. And basically all you're doing is motivating the dog. Now once he has the desire to fetch this, then we'll make the hides increasingly more difficult.
The relationship that grows between each handler and his new canine partner is further reinforced by the fact that each dog is taken home. Wayne Klepeski has been a canine officer since last November. His wife Arlene had some doubts at first as to whether she was ready to meet Duke, her husband's new partner.
When the dog first came in, I ran into the other room. I said, I can't go near him. I'm deathly afraid of him.
She had a misconception that the dogs are so mean, and she was scared to death. And I said, the dogs are, they're working dogs and family dogs. At home would be a nice dog, at work will do the job. And then when I finally brought Duke home, he changed her mind.
Then he came in and he plopped in the middle of the floor and he just lay there. And I went over and I touched him, but he didn't move. And I thought, oh, he's nice. So I started petting him, and he licked me. It was wonderful. It was love at first sight.
While it took some time before Arlene became adjusted to Duke, it took even longer for her to trust the dog around her 4 children.
One of the words borrowed from our house for like all those 6 months was, get him. Nobody was allowed to say, get him. I was afraid the dog was going to go get somebody. But as you could see, he's not even moving.
While Duke is playful at home, he also knows when it's time for work. As one of 50 police dogs assigned to the transit system, Duke logs a lot of hours in and on the subway.
He's a good boy, yeah. I think they're an integral part of the transit system. First of all, the public likes to see dogs with their handlers in their particular area. There's no doubt that canine does act as a deterrent.
Riding the subways is just one of many canine duties. There are also 8 dogs assigned to the airport. Besides regular patrol at the airport, duties also include drug and bomb detection, and sometimes even pre-scouting a presidential appearance.
When Ronald Reagan was running, or Teddy Kennedy, we would work directly with the Secret Service, and wherever these individual candidates would go, we would always have a bomb dog there sweeping the area ahead of them. And anytime the President of the United States comes in, you have a bomb dog there all the time also. It goes where the President goes.
Stay. Officer Gene Updyke has been on the police force for 13 years, transferring to K-9 back in 1974. He is a member of one of the city's 4 explosive detection teams. While the nature of his work calls for both he and his dog to seek out danger, it doesn't seem to concern either one of them.
A bomb to a dog doesn't know it's a bomb, doesn't know what it can do to him, and to him it's a game. It's like a hide-and-go-seek game, you could say. And hopefully he will find what he's looking for, and we can all get out of it safely.
And safety is the main reason for the canines. With over 128 dogs on the force, it seems that they have the city well covered. They've been with us since 1962, quietly going about their business, making our business safe. They are all trained professionals, the elite of a 14-week training course on criminal apprehension. Some have been trained in drug and explosive detection, while all are ready to serve and protect. They're our four-legged friends and guardians, the K-9 unit of the Philadelphia Police Department. Some contrast between those big, strong guys and this little fella. I can't imagine him taking on some big, nasty criminal, can you?
No, attack rack. Get him.
Go easy, fella.
You know what?
What?
Sheila Allen's about to attack the town.
That's coming up next.
Wanamaker's one-day fur sale, Sunday.
Bobby, Blair Brown as Jackie, P.G. Marshall as the father.
And let us not forget J. Edgar Hoover.
The Kennedy weakness is sex.
Those things have to change, Jack.
On the Mondale bandwagon in early February, long before the primaries proved that Jackson is a strong vote-getter.
Well, I think that there's no one in this room, including Mr. Jackson, who believe that he can either be nominated or elected. I think that he understands that, and that does not mean that he's not providing a very useful purpose in running.
The keen sense here is that a good failure to hold a reasonable number of black votes for Mondale next week could show an inability on his part to transfer his strength with Philadelphia's 370,000 black voters. That may never harm Good's re-electability, but it could well blunt some of his effectiveness in local political struggles to come. Vernon Odom, Channel 6 Action News at City Hall.
For weeks, you've been hearing reports about the ambulance dispatcher in Texas who argued with a man on the telephone while his mother was dying. At International Airport, it was on to Pittsburgh, where Jesse Jackson is campaigning among hardcore unemployed steel workers, and Gary Hart is also stumping for votes.
Tonight, Ranger and Tonto, has there been a team like this? Brenner and Rizzo. Brenner and Rizzo?
Okay, let's go over our lines. I say hi, this is David Brenner.
And I'm Frank Rizzo.
For AIA.
Philadelphia's first low-cost airline.
You heard right. Former Philadelphia policeman and mayor Frank Rizzo and funny man David Brenner are trading one-liners for an airline. David and Frank are starring in AIA's new commercial campaign to publicize their expanded Philadelphia service. But according to Brenner, this is not the first time the two have met.
This is not my first venture with Mayor Rizzo. He once arrested me when I was a kid. So this is my second. It's much better to deal with him this way than when he was a cop.
But all that is past history. Today, David's vast TV experience should help to calm Frank's fears about his first TV endorsement.
Oh, I'm not nervous. I think David's nervous, so he's not used to this, you know.
Any minute I expect to be cuffed and dragged out of here. That's why I'm nervous.
Yeah, we got three guys following him. He gets out of line, he'll pay his dues.
I'm being threatened to do it right.
We're rolling.
And action.
Let's go over our lines. I say, this is David Brenner.
And I'm Frank Rizzo.
This is David Brenner.
And I'm Frank Rizzo.
I say, this is David Brenner.
For AIA.
No.
You say I'm Frank Rizzo. Well, what you eat?
This is David Brenner.
Philadelphia's first low-cost airline.
You're Philadelphia's first low-cost airline? I thought you were Frank Rizzo.
You mentioned AIA.
Fly Philadelphia.
Fly.
You know what it is? Every word starts with an F.
You're kidding. Oh, okay, your line. I robbed you. You just got fired.
Don't you ever steal from me again. I will not tolerate a former police officer stealing my lines.
Why would David Brenner appear in a commercial with a man who once arrested him?
First, you got to believe in a product or you don't do the commercial. And then you got to believe that they're giving you enough money to believe in the product. So, friends, fly Philadelphia's favorite airline.
Favorite.
So, friends, fly Philadelphia.
Fly.
And what's coming up next for the cop and the comic?
I think Frank Rizzo and I are going to go on the road together. I think we're going to become a team. He's going to juggle. I'm going to tell jokes. You know what the problem is, Frank? Everything starts with an F.
David, Philly is P-H.
You're kidding, Frank.
That's P-H-R-A-N-K.
Funny. With an F. We both say with an F.
Right, with an F.
I say funny. With an F.
Well, you might say we've taken our act on the
Officers have been reassigned, their dogs retired after some attacks on innocent people. Well, tonight, Channel 10's Harvey Clark visits the police academy where the dogs and their handlers are working on their techniques and their image.
The city has tightened up the leash on both dogs and their handlers after allegations that some policemen had lost control of their dogs or ordered them to attack unarmed men and women. No criminal charges have come out of the 3-month investigation, but the guidelines for training and retraining have been redefined.
We now have a policy where each member of the organization is brought back 4 times a year for a 3-day mandatory in-service training program. At that time, we can evaluate how the person is working on the street. We can evaluate the physical and emotional stability of that dog and that man.
Records had shown that over 350 bites were recorded in a 33-month period, a third of them by the same 9 dogs. As a result, 5 of the police dogs were retired and their handlers returned to regular duty. Until recently, the Philadelphia K-9 unit was considered to be the best in the country, but recent investigations into the safety of the dogs and their handlers may have put a gray cloud over the department. But the K-9 unit is fighting to restore its past reputation. Officers admit that there have been incidents, but say they feel the department got a bad rap.
I think we've just gotten a lot of bad press. They have to point out the good things that the K-9 unit has done over the years. The number of contacts that the guys make every day. They might come in contact with 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people in the subway systems and on the street, and without incident.
The FBI Civil Rights Squad in the U.S. Attorney's Office is still engaged in a criminal investigation of the K-9 police force, a force that says it believes it never lost the public confidence. Harvey Clark, Channel 10 News at the Police Academy.
The cost of dumping trash in South...
It's difficult to know about you. Because I'm so diverse sometimes. Like, I can be shy or I can be outgoing or something like that. I really don't stay in one place a long time.
And your parents can't follow you?
Yeah, and like sometimes I may be cranky in the morning and then I come home.
Okay, then you just sit here. Don't move around now. We want to keep track of where you are, okay, right now? Anybody else out here whose parents, you think your parents don't understand you, Adam?
Well, they don't understand that I don't want to do something like being a doctor or a lawyer. They grew up thinking there were doctors and lawyers and failures.
And you would rather be a failure? What do you want to be?
Well, I'd like to have some sort of skill with my hands, and I've thought a lot about enlisting in the Army, and they don't understand that because they didn't...
Well, good luck to you. You know, my parents wanted me to be a lawyer, and they thought I'd be a failure if I wasn't a lawyer. And look at me now. I am a failure. Okay. Would you stand up, please? Would your parents understand you?
No. I had a very hard time getting my parents to understand last year because I got engaged.
You got... How old are you?
I'm 17.
17. Oh,
Yeah.
they tried to tell us we're too young. It's
my
only
mother
puppy
got
love.
married.
Everybody tell you it's puppy love?
Yes, but my mother was married when she was 18. And
Maybe she's trying to tell you what she learned. That
But she's been married for 27 years. I mean, hey.
So you think it's all right?
Yes, I think it's okay.
Have your parents given you their blessings now?
Oh, yeah. Well, they've accepted it now.
Okay, well, good luck. Teenage marriages are hard. Good luck. Well, this morning, we have a very special show for you today because since it's the day before Christmas, we knew the kids would be home from school. And, you know, recently we had a show here where we gave men the chance to speak out. We had a show where women had a chance to speak out. And this morning, our audience is filled with teenagers. We're going to give them a chance to tell what's on their minds. Next, it's Kids Are Talking. Stay tuned.
And now, People Are Talking with Richard Bay.
Good morning. All right, we've been talking a little bit about how some parents don't understand their children. Some parents do. I guess this has gone back. James Dean was the rebel without a cause. When I was growing up, it was hippies. Parents couldn't understand why kids would want to grow their hair long and wear all those weird colors and flags. So I guess this is something that's been going on for centuries, the generation gap, as we used to call it. But is there one thing that you wouldn't tell your parents? Do you have anything? Any secret that you wouldn't tell them if something happened?
Not really, but like my bad test grades and stuff, I don't tell them at all.
You try to hide that from them?
Yeah.
Anybody else out here, would you hide anything from your parents? Go ahead, stand up.
No, really, I wouldn't, because I think that my parents and myself have a good relationship. So practically anything that I feel uneasy about, I think I can talk to them about it.
You have something you'd hide from your parents, if it happened. Stand up, Bill. Come on.
Yeah, if I got a girl pregnant, I think I might
If you got a girl pregnant, you wouldn't come to your parents for advice?
Not right away, I don't think so.
Why? How do you think they'd react?
I don't know how they would react. I haven't had that.
And it hasn't happened?
No.
Okay. Make sure it doesn't, Bill, or you're going to be in big trouble. Okay, what about your parents? What would you like your parents, if you could change your parents in some way?